Last week I made a video called TwoSetViolin, Please Stop Bullying Violists. The response I got on that video from fellow violists and other members of the TwoSet community that support the viola was incredible. A lot of people left really insightful comments about their experiences and opinions about the issues I discussed, which is how the viola and violists are treated in the TwoSet community. If you haven't seen that video, basically I explained that as TwoSetViolin has appealed to a wider and more impressionable audience, the frequent jabs at the viola have gradually caused violists to feel unappreciated and sometimes get bullied in the TwoSet community. I was blown away at how many people were leaving entire essays in the comments. Thank you all so much for the support. Obviously I can't show every comment in this video. I'm going to choose some that summarize what a lot of other people were saying. So I made this video last night and this morning I woke up to something amazing.
We exist because you exist, so there's this coexistence happening.
Yeah.
So Viola, you do a great job. Thank you for being there for us. Next.
Yeah, just like celebrating the collective bullying of Violas.
Sorry, Violas. I mean, come on, like you guys.
Violas are the last to get offended. So
Exactly. I mean, you guys have the best sense of humor.
yeah. Wildwood gang, let's go.
And I was shocked. Maybe they saw my video from last week, maybe they're just continuing with their trend of being more serious about some things, but in any case, this is exactly what we violists need from them. However, I don't think just those two clips are enough to counter all the problems we've seen in the TwoSet community, which I'll discuss later in this video. I still think they need to make a video that educates people about the viola or includes a violist. This video also has some really valuable opinions and experiences that I still want to share. So, thank you Brett and Eddie, this is a great start. Now here's the rest of the video. Let's start off with some violists sharing their stories. Andy the Dandy 314 says, on every TwoSet video there are comments. They've taught me so much about classical music. And people do learn from them, sometimes exclusively from them. I'm going to skip a bit. I once told someone I played the viola and he looked it up on YouTube to hear what it sounded like. Despite my objections, he chose a TwoSet video, assuring me they know a lot about classical music. TwoSet has taught a ton of people about classical music, which is great. The issue here is that viola is not their area of expertise. If somebody looked at their content knowing nothing about classical music or the viola, they might legitimately think that viola is a trash tier instrument, which it's not. This next one is kind of sad. Caitlyn Green says, I find a lot of their fans don't understand that they're really just jokes, and that viola is genuinely good. And a lot of my friends even have started to make me feel less worthy as a musician just because of my instrument. This is exactly what I was worried about happening. Nobody deserves to be bullied for the instrument that they play. Someone else pointed out a reason this could be happening in another comment. Teenagers are so impressionable and so eager to form cliques. While adults like us know TwoSet are just joking and we have respect for the viola and violists, teenagers may not. This continues on something I was saying in last week's video about how younger viewers might be inclined to make viola jokes in order to fit in, without actually appreciating the viola. This is something we need to reverse. It is cool to play the viola, in case you're wondering. I will personally stick up for anybody who is bullied for playing the viola. When my local youth orchestra asked me to start playing the viola, I thought it was the world playing a sick joke on me, but I still accepted. But what I quickly learned was that I actually liked the viola more than the violin, but I was afraid of coming to terms with this because of all the viola jokes from TwoSet. This shows how much we need to establish that playing the viola is not a sign of failure but a sign of character, so that if anybody realizes that their musical voice is suited better by the viola, they won't be afraid to switch to it. Another user pointed out the viola could actually lose potential players because of the fact that they might see the viola as an inferior instrument. If you've ever been part of a youth orchestra, a school orchestra, or an amateur orchestra, you've probably noticed the lack of violists. This is because it's an intimidating instrument to try and it's less popular than other instruments like the violin and cello. We need more violists to balance out our orchestras, so we need to be encouraging more young musicians to try the viola. Aside from just violists, there is a lot of support from other musicians and non-musicians. Piper brought up, there's enough bullying of band geeks from non-musicians. Seems like we shouldn't be doing it to each other. If you're in high school and you like classical music, you're probably one of the only people in that category. I know because I just graduated high school a year ago. The thing is, the TwoSet community is a place for all young musicians to belong somewhere, because they don't really fit in real life, sadly. TwoSet is also the only community like that on the internet for classical musicians, so we need to make sure that everybody is welcome there. My.Chopinlist, loved the username by the way, said, they're amazing and I love them, but I've heard terrible stories of people even quitting the viola because they were bullied. I mentioned that I thought this might be a possibility in my video last week. Unfortunately, it seems like it does happen in real life. If we all have the common goal of promoting classical music, the last thing you want to do is indirectly make somebody quit. All of this begs the question, are Viola jokes really worth it? Let's see what the community has to say. Orcanist says, I don't like Viola jokes, but not for the reason you might think. It's just because they get stale and unoriginal. Sabrina, who's been subscribed to me since I was on my old channel, says, of course I love TwoSetViolin, but all the Viola jokes are not only not funny, they're tiring, boring, and even irritating. Shreya says, as a huge TwoSet fan, aspiring professional pianist, and hobby violinists, I think all Viola jokes should end. So in my opinion, Viola jokes are fine, and I'm going to keep making them myself. But I think a lot of people are getting annoyed because so many of them are now just cheap humor, just insulting the viola. So what I'm saying is, if you're gonna make a viola joke, at least make it good. I've often felt that TwoSet's use of viola jokes is really about making fun of themselves, similar to the way PewDiePie makes fun of himself. On the surface, they're making fun of violists, but on another level, it's a play on the stereotype of the egotistical violinist. This has to do with what I was saying about how their audience changed over time. In the beginning, they could use this kind of humor and people recognized it. Now, people might not pick up on it, so it's kind of dangerous. Of course, a lot of people brought up how they know that TwoSet doesn't actually hate the viola. Alyssa says, I'm certain they don't mean to be hateful and they'll do something to correct it. By the way, Alyssa, thank you for always leaving comments on my videos. Winsam Lee actually made an awesome Reddit post and listed all the videos where TwoSet appreciated or included the viola in order to prove that TwoSet is just joking. Wintom also pointed out that recently they've been making less viola jokes, which I agree with, and that's why now is the perfect time to make a viola video. It would make violists extremely happy, you would get a ton of views, and you have nothing to lose because you're phasing out viola jokes anyways. However, as Cheese on Toast pointed out, I'd really hate if they pulled the "it's just a joke" card and tried to downplay it as if it's just an innocent joke and we're freaking out over nothing. Yes, TwoSet, please acknowledge that the issue is real. We know that for you it's just a joke, however some people in the community didn't understand that. That's the issue we're trying to fix. Moving on, my older brother, who has a doctoral degree in cello performance, sent me a very long and wise text. This is my favorite part. As musicians, so much of our identity is defined by the instrument we play because it's such an intimate, personal activity. When people ask you what you do in a musical setting, you always respond by saying, I'm a cellist, I'm a violist, etc. And even if a person is well-intentioned, they can develop certain biases / assumptions subconsciously that does impact how they think of that person, even without their realizing it. We need to remember that we are humans first and not defined by our instrument choice and how we play it, and certainly not by associations with the instrument. On another note, that video almost has 10,000 views, and inevitably there have been a few hate comments from people who presumably didn't watch the whole video or just read the title. Why don't you make your own videos for violas like they do for violins? Leave them to their humor. They must have missed the part where I literally said that I do that, and that TwoSet should just make occasional viola videos or include violists. On the other side of the spectrum, some people were so inspired by what I said that they wanted to spam my video on all of TwoSet's recent videos. Now I appreciate the sentiment, however I wish for this to be a peaceful negotiation. I'm going to send an email to TwoSet including the link to this video and the video I published last week as soon as this video is published. I did see people bring up a few other instruments. For example, Finn's Violin, creator of the legendary Violin Practice Frustration video, brought up the electric violin, and that hasn't been represented very well in TwoSet videos either. Maybe stuff like that or jazz, including the saxophone, would make a great video. Someone brought up the recorder community, and I do remember TwoSet making a video that made fun of them, but then soon after they made another video apologizing for that, so I feel like that's the water under the bridge. Meanwhile, violists have dealt with being the crux of way more jokes for years and years, and it's a testament to how chill violists are in general. Since this video is partially for the sake of clarification, I'll say it again. We're not offended by the jokes themselves, we're just standing up for the people who are being bullied by people who take those jokes seriously. The second to last comment I'm going to share comes from someone called Maija. David Aaron Carpenter wanted to do a video with them a little while ago and they never responded to him. If this rumor is true, then TwoSet, you gotta do a video with David Aaron Carpenter. He is an incredible violist and he would absolutely nail the Wing Ling workout. The last comment is what I consider to be a good viola joke that actually made me laugh, and that's going to be on the end screen. So I hope I've cleared some things up in this video, and thank you again for all your support. Until next time, Viola Gang, Viola King out.